My reaction is quite obvious. I have told you already that I just try to express myself as much as I could so that I can portray a clear image about myself and what my goals and intentions are.
Yeah. So, do you feel has this interview helped you? Like, do you feel now that you are willing, ready, and able, and you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
wanted to?
Yesterday's interview gave me a lot of thoughts that in what areas I need to work on, and I got to know myself better.
Exactly, because with every interview, you will not know what the other people, what the other person thinks about you, or when you're talking to people who do not know you,
Yes,
they
ma'am.
will think on their terms. Whatever you speak, that will be the deciding point. But people who know you, like I asked you questions about your HOD IT, what will he say about you if I ask them, or if I ask Ravi Soni sir, or if I ask Lav Kumar? So what will they be? What will they be saying? So they will be all telling a story which you already probably know. You assume that I have never been indisciplined. I've never been naughty in the class. I've followed people to the T. So you know what they'll be saying. They will never be saying anything negative. And
Yes, ma'am.
this is all about. And I hope this is also the question which were put. Maybe you might be thinking whether will I be able to answer this or not, or am I ready for such questions? So in a parameter 1 to 10, you should place yourself. Okay, some parts I was confused, some parts I could not understand, but then every interview will give you something to learn. That is why we say attempt. If you get an opportunity to face interviews, give interviews because you will be learning hugely, immensely. Every interview will give you something to learn, and that is
Yes, ma'am.
move on to another student who would like to face the interview today. Yes, I think Pankaj Patel is ready today.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon,
Live
ma'am.
in the class. Yeah. So, Pankaj, the confidence is quite seen large on your face. So,
Thank you, ma'am.
teaching you and the students who have been selected despite the COVID disturbances, you still were selected for Wipro. So, Pankaj, let us talk
Yes.
about first thing first. Like, what is your take? You've been recruited for Wipro. So, what do you have to say about that?
I am very delighted that I am selected in Wipro and just looking forward to learn new things in this scholarship program.
You're looking forward to learn new things. So, otherwise, the pandemic problem or whatever was there. So, we never, students have always done well. Focused students have been focused, getting classes, getting opportunities. So how will you rate yourself during the past 3 years that we are talking about? How do you rate yourself in the parameter 1 to 10? Where do you place?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
So I said in the parameter 1 to 10, where do you place yourself
In what perspective, ma'am?
in everything? Your 3 years at CIMAGE, your learning objective,
Ma'am,
you have learned, how you have learned. So did you
yes, ma'am.
learn everything, or there's
No,
some
ma'am.
drawbacks or what? So what is your takeaway from these 3 years that went by?
Yes, ma'am. When I was started my BCA, I have learned many things now, new programming skills and how computer works and interview handling skills and all of the extracurricular stuffs. So I will rate myself 7 out of 10 because s- in some things I have to be improve myself. I have to.
So, Pankaj, can you be more specific about what are your drawbacks and what skills need to be worked on?
Ma'am, I think I have to improve in my coding skills, and I also have to improve. Also have to open up more with the teachers. I think I am not able to communicate with all teachers. So that's what I have to improve. That
So what is the
yeah,
reason?
my
Why have you not been able to open up or to be assertive? Why aren't you not assertive?
because sometimes I don't want to target a particular teacher, but I think that with some teachers I don't feel the connection that a student or a teacher have to be. That's why sometimes it feels like I have to be open up more, ask more questions so that
Exactly.
they
The
can connect with
problem
me.
is always with the students. If you do not feel connected, then how will you ever learn?
Yes, ma'am.
So the prime importance about the prime function of a student is to ask question for clarity. Suppose
Yes,
if you
ma'am.
do not understand a particular thing, and if you keep quiet, the teacher will never know what did you miss out. So one thing which you have to be learning is to be assertive. Otherwise, you may fall into wrong hands, or people might be uh, people might mistaken you for a lot of things. So the need to be assertive is one thing which you need to work on. So your drawback is not able to communicate, not being able to get your facts right or to ask for clarity. So if you
Yes, ma'am.
if there's a certain point which you have not understood, you need to be assertive. You need to ask. Right? The
Yes,
next
ma'am.
question, Pankaj, is what do you think you can do better than the others? What skills make you different from the others? Or if there's anything that makes you different, what is it?
I think I can be a better team member. I can show some faith with my other team members, because if you work on a project with a team, you have to be have faith on the others, so that they will give you the optimum work which is required to make a project.
Okay, Pankil, what is important in working in a team?
I think i think trust and have a good plan to have a good plan, a good background to create a project is very important. That how our work's going to be divided with each team members.
All right, Pankil. Um, which achievements are you most proud of?
I am the achievement which I am most proud of is to perform every time when I was asked, and I want to I am very glad that I expressed myself during these 3 years of BCA. This is my biggest achievement, because before that I was a too much of an introvert person.
In a way, you're saying that whenever a task was given to me, I performed that. I did justice to all my performance and activities, right? So
Yes,
that
ma'am. Ma'am, you can learn new things, coding skills, but you cannot learn how to open up. You have to push yourself, so that it is very delightful that I am able to do that.
yeah, you need to push yourself. You need to be taking yourself out of your comfort zone, because if you want to accomplish something, if you want to achieve something, you have to work on it. You have to get yourself out from the comfort zone and be there.
Yes, ma'am.
Face face the challenges. Take up challenges.
Yes, ma'am.
What strengths do your teachers or your parents or your peer group, your students see in you?
I think my ability to solve problem and always learn from my mistake is my strength, that I think everybody sees in me.
And are you confident on the education and the skill which you have acquired so far, right from the school to the college and so far? Are you confident? Are you
Ma'am,
completely
not to
confident in your
Ma'am,
education?
not totally, because there are many things that I have to learn from the amount of education I get. I think to work in a big multinational company, it is not enough. I have to learn more things too.
Yes,
be able to work
yes, you
in
need
a
to
bigger
be on a
companies.
learning spree, because if you stop learning,
Yes, ma'am.
you stop growing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, what new technology can help you grow, or can you get help from others or from other people via the internet?
Via internet, ma'am.
And technology
Are
help.
you are you ask, are you asking me in sense of communication?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Internet can help people to connect. So via communication, it can be possible. Take an example of this. We are communicating in a Zoom meeting. We are getting education from a meeting app. So this is also a great example that we can achieve and learn new things via internet, via communication on internet.
Right. Now, supposing you're working in a company, just suppose, and a colleague
Yes, ma'am.
goes on a leave, extended leave, right? Could you take on some of this person's projects to gain experience? Would you go
Ye-
in other words, would you go out of your way to learn something? A colleague going out
ye-
on an extended holiday or vacation or a leave. Could you take on
no,
some
ma'am.
of this person's projects to gain experience?
Yes, ma'am. I definitely take that chance because I always open up to learn new things. So I definitely take that chance.
Okay. Currently, we are speaking about currently. So, what challenges are you facing right now? What obstacles?
Ma'am,
What
ma'am, I
obstacles?
don't get the question.
What obstacles are you facing?
Ma'am, you want to say
What
that
are the
what
what are
obstacle
the
we are
trade
facing
terms?
in,
Obstacles. What is pulling you down? What is dragging you down?
ma'am, in
Obstacles
the
are
sense of this, not able to attend college.
no. I'm talking about what are the obstacles that you're facing? Any threat coming your way? Anything which is stopping you from growth? Is there anything, any obstacle, any hurdle which is stopping you currently?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Other than stress that coming out due to COVID pandemic in all around the India, that that is that is the only problem because of it we are we are not able to go to college to study interact with teachers in person. So it is a big problem. That's why I think that is the obstacle which is coming between me
Okay, Pankaj,
between me and
what is your ideal company and why?
ideal company. Ma'am, I haven't think about that, so I can tell about what to do.
I can give you a tally mark. You must have this backup of this is my ideal company and this is it. This it seems that it makes you focused. So I would like to work
Yes, ma'am.
here and nothing else will do for me. So you people should always aim for the best. So your ideal company can be just about any company which you are banking on. So this is a long term goal. I would like to work. My dream is to work here. So think of an
Oh,
ideal company you would like to work and why.
yes, ma'am. I will work on it.
Yeah. And what is the most difficult thing that you've ever accomplished, or what is the most difficult thing you have ever done, and you've been successful? The most difficult thing. Think about it. Take your time. The most thing.
Ma'am, I think the most difficulty thing I have done is to participate in a speech competition
Okay.
because I haven't given a speech a single time in my entire life before the BCA second year.
Okay.
And I am surprised from myself that I was selected at that time to give a speech on Jal Jeevan Hariyali.
All
So
right.
that's what my biggest breakthrough.
So that was the biggest achievement. Like it was a challenge that I had never spoken in school, and suddenly I'm there. I'm selected for a speech competition. So that was the most
Yes, ma'am.
difficult and challenging. Were you ever prized like first, second, or third? Like we had expressions in Simage College.
Ma'am, I don't care about winning, but just I have to take part. So that I achieved, I am very thankful of that.
Exactly. If this is your attitude, I do not participate to win. I participate to learn and gain experience. And it's good that today
Yes,
you're talking, you're over the across doing an interview. Like winning is not important to me. Participating is, and the most challenging work for you was participating.
participating.
No, not participating. Being selected in a speech competition, which you never ever did. But then
Yes, ma'am.
once in a for once you were selected, and that was, oh, this is the eureka moment. Like, why me? Oh, me. That's nice. So this is
Yes, ma'am.
all right, Pankaj. What is the difference between hard work and smart work? And please define what is hard work and what is smart work, and what is the difference between the two.
Ma'am, smart work is the type of work where you find some loopholes or some shortcuts through which you can achieve your goal in no time. And hard work is the type of work in which you go step by step, stairs by stairs to achieve particular goal.
Well, in the
So
long run,
hard work always takes time.
exactly. But what is the difference? What are you
Ma'am,
a smart
difference,
worker or are you a hard worker?
ma'am,
Has the
I think
hard work has its
I
advantages. Smart work also has its advantage. So think about it.
yes, ma'am.
Smart work.
Ma'am, smart work has the advantage that you can achieve your goal in less time. And hard work
Generally,
always
can you
requires patience, and you have to give more and more time to it.
and hard work, like if you have done your hard work, Pankaj,
Yes, ma'am.
you will able to do this smart work. But if you have not done the hard work, you will never be able to do the smart work. To do smart work, to be a smart worker, you need to be a hard worker. Detailed,
Yes, ma'am.
step by step. You know this,
Yes, ma'am.
this and that.
If you have learned anything by hard work, then you will find a solution to do it smartly.
Exactly.
So
And education
that
has
point
no
is
shortcut. There is no
yes,
shortcut
ma'am.
for education.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to go. You need to detail it. Otherwise, you will never be able to perform the smart work.
Yes.
Supposing somebody asks you if you've read the story The Merchant of Venice, and someone
No,
tells
ma'am.
you to no. I'm just giving an example. And if you need
Yes,
to
ma'am.
tell the story in 2 minutes, now if you are done and dusted about it, if you have done the work, if you have read the complete story in details, it's going to be so easy to tell the story in 2 lines, right? So how
Yes,
can
ma'am.
we do it? Only if we have done hard work. We have read line after,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So that is why the
Yes.
hard work is important. Smart work is also important because you don't have the time. If I tell you to tell the story in 1 minute, like what happens in jam sessions, Pankil, you are given a topic,
Yeah.
just a
Yes,
minute
ma'am.
speeches, just a minute speeches. What happens? You have to tell the entire story in 1 minute,
Yes, ma'am.
isn't it? Okay. Pankil, where do you see yourself, let's say 3 years from now? 3 years down the line,
Ma'am,
where do you
after
see yourself?
ma'am, after 3 years, I think I'm going to be a part of a multinational company, and I have acquired any post, any junior post in a multinational company.
All right. Now, one question I'm going to ask you is this: it's going to make a smile on your face. Give an example of a time you had to respond to an unhappy teacher, or a colleague, or a professor, or a friend, maybe in school, maybe in college, with a friend. So, an example of a time you had to respond to an unhappy teacher, an unhappy colleague, or unhappy professor or friend.
Ma'am, I don't get the question.
How could you respond to somebody who is not happy with you? Example of a time you had to respond
Please.
to people who are not happy.
It's a tricky question. If people are not happy with me, then why don't they like to hear me out?
Okay. It is a psychological question. How do you respond
Yes, ma'am.
to negative feedback? When I put it very simply, it is how do you respond to negative feedback? Your friend is not happy with you, your teacher is not happy with you.
That I will try to improve myself to
Right.
make that
Like
negative
how?
impact into
How will you
positive impact.
respond? What will be your answer? Will you snap back? Will you hit back? Will you throw tantrums? This shows your personality trait also. This shows how patient you are. This shows how
Yes, ma'am.
receptive you are of feedback and how well you take criticism. So many people cannot handle criticism. If somebody says,
Yes,
Pankaj,
ma'am.
this is not right, do you start reacting in a way negative way? Or will you sit back and listen to, okay, what is not right? What is not right? Tell me what is right. So will you
Mm.
try to learn from mistakes?
Yes, ma'am. Totally.
The question was that how will you respond? In putting it very simply, how do you respond to negative feedback?
I will try to find out the faults that which by that why I am getting the negative feedback and try to improve it.
So you try to listen to feedback, listen to advice,
Yes, ma'am.
and act
Yes,
accordingly.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Uncle, what is one thing which motivates you?
One thing I think my family motivates me.
Oh, that's fine. Your family motivates you. So, what is one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
What achievement? What does it motivate you? Family, that's already understood.
That
Teachers
that
motivate, families
that
motivate. But what is one thing? Like reading a good book,
ma'am,
pursuing a hobby, like
ma'am,
listening to the
I
stu-
think ma'am, see, listening music always motivates me. Then
listening to music motivates you.
yes, ma'am.
Because
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, tell us about music has healing properties. Will you agree to that? Music heals.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Always.
Okay. Then I'm driving you back to your interest. So, what are other things which takes your fancy, or are you interested in? Let's talk about interests and hobbies.
Ma'am, my interest are to gather information about space technologies and new softwares and new electronic devices which are coming to market right now. And my hobbies is to create music, listen music, sing music, singing always. These are my hobbies.
Yes, I remember you singing because there was uh, we celebrated Ghalib's birth anniversary, and I think you sang a
Yes, ma'am.
ghazal on Ghalib, right? So yes,
Yes, ma'am.
singing is your probably the hobby which has taken you ahead. Like taken you. What I mean is that it has made you an extrovert. Like you out there
Yes,
on stage, you're performing, public speaking. Like it makes you smarter, a better version of you.
yes, ma'am.
Pankaj, a very serious question. What are the three things that are most important for you in a job?
Three things.
The most
The
important
first is
thing
the
in a job.
environment.
Like you're
The first
passionate
thing
about
is the
these things.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the first thing I think is the environment. The environment is very important to work in a multinational company. And second thing, the people around there, people and the team. Because if team is not, if a team is don't faith on, don't have a faith on each other, then team will doesn't work in a united way. And the third thing is, I think the facilities which are provided by a company.
So, how do you? What is your stress buster? Like, how do you handle stress? How do you work
to
under pressure? Can you handle pressure?
yes, ma'am. I can handle pressure.
Give an example.
Ma'am, if I have to work, if I have to submit a work in a critical time, in a critical time manner, so I will try to I will try to come up with a plan which have to be smart, and try to work on it so that I will complete my task before the deadline.
What is your version about what good ethics? What is good work ethics?
Good work ethics. In good work ethics, I think in good work I have to be loyal with the company. I don't have to betray the company about leaking any information which is confidential.
Did you ever have to make a tough decision? If yes, what was it? Or what was the toughest decision you ever had to make?
The toughest decision, I think the toughest decision I make, that to reappear in the exam, reappearing in my 12th exam, because when I was failed in my 12th exam, I was shattered. I don't want to reappear again. So I think that was my toughest decision, to reappear for the exam and pass it.
All right. Uh, a few more questions and then we are through. So, what is,
Yes,
Pankaj, what is your greatest fear? What are you apprehensive about?
ma'am. I have the fear of heights.
Fear of?
Heights.
Yeah, you fear heights, technically.
Yes, ma'am.
But then,
Yes, ma'am.
what you're talking about, what are you apprehensive about? Like, what if I do not like the job? What if this happens? What if that happens? So what is your apprehension? What if I'm not given the place of my choice?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, then I have to stick to a plan, that how can I achieve what I want from a company, in a company, what post I want to, what post I want to have in my life. So for that I have to come up with a plan and stick around to it.
So the probably answer can be, you might think that this is my first job and I might be inexperienced. So this might be the greatest fear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That will always be a greatest fear for now,
Yeah.
because we haven't done any projects or any internships before getting a job in a company.
This,
So that will be a fear, but you will come up with a plan. You will learn new things. That excitement will be also there.
your greatest fear can be nervousness, can spoil the presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
You
Sometimes.
you are prepared, you all sorted, but then you get nervous. So this can become a hurdle. This can become a barrier.
Yes.
So nervousness can be a greatest fear.
Yes, ma'am.
Not being misunderstood. My greatest fear is being misunderstood. I am not what people think I am. So this
Yes.
probably is something which is about almost 90% people fear this. So please, people take me wrong, and I should. That is the greatest fear with anybody.
Mm.
People who
Yes,
misunderstand.
ma'am.
Greatest fear is being misunderstood by people. So what skills make you perfect for the job? That this job is tailor made for me. I am fit for this job. And the last question is, how do how does your uniform and how do clothes have power and how?
I think To work in a multinational company, the first thing someone sees in you is your attire, that what you are wearing. You have to be formal.
Clothes
You
definitely
have
have
to
power.
be, yes, ma'am. Clothes have power because everybody has to be in a formal to be to work in a company, because in a company there is no rich and there is no poor man or woman. So everybody has to be in a particular attire, where just like our college have a, say a formal attire which everybody wears. There nobody can tell that who is rich and who is poor. So you if you have to work in a company, you have to break that barrier that there is a rich kid and there is a poor kid. So everybody feels free to interact with each other.
Exactly. So clothes do grooming and clothes have power, and
Yes, ma'am.
which will speak for you, because the moment you enter the boardroom, the interview room, before you say anything, your clothes will tell the story. Like, yes, I
Yes, ma'am.
belong here, and I do not need to prove myself, and I'm not out of place, and I know what I have to do. I'm well sorted, and I know my work,
Yes.
and I am prepared. So, yeah, Pankaj, that was good. Work on some of the questions which I asked you, and
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, your dream job. So you have to answer this in a very positive way, because this is your dream, and when you talking about your dream, put in a lot of enthusiasm. My dream
Yes.
job is a job where I can create my myself, where I can find my true self. An exciting job where I can learn, earn, and grow, be creative,
Yes, ma'am.
see how myself. So your dream job should be take this question seriously and try answering this question. Otherwise, yes, good.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, I will work on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Pankaj.